Welcome everybody to a special spring edition of the Valpo Football Coaches Show. Brandon Vickery with you. Glad to be joined by the head coach of the Valpo football program, Andy Waddle. And Coach, we have a chance to check in here after you've had some time to get settled here in Valparaiso. What has it been like to come to Valpo so far, both from a personal standpoint, getting to know the community, and from a work standpoint, being the head football coach here?
Yeah, well, from the personal standpoint, I mean, we are really, truly blessed to be in one of the coolest, most unique places in America. Just, in our own community with a ton of community pride and community support for Valparaiso as an institution and for athletic programs. But, we're so close to the big city of Chicago and everything that brings, and we're close to the Indiana Dunes, so really that's been, I think, been pretty awesome just to be in such an awesome community and, find a house and, start to make, the city of Valpo and Northwest Indiana our home has been exciting. The work side of things, obviously, we jumped right into some recruiting. I was able to get some assistant coaches hired pretty quickly. I was lucky that a number of the guys that I had worked with in the past jumped into this with me, and also some of the guys that had been at Valpo before I got here stayed on staff, and RJ has been just a really huge blessing, taking kind of the assistant head coach role, and we've leaned on him to help to teach us about some of the integral things about the University of Valpo and some of the things that are unique to the area. And so he's been a great help. Coach Campbell in the weight room's been awesome. The guys really gravitate to what he brings and the energy he brings. And so, we're excited to get going in spring ball here.
Yeah, let's talk more about the group of, you touched on some of the returning faces, but the new faces on your coaching staff. What should Valpo fans know about the coaching staff you've assembled?
Yeah, so I think that if I started with Zach Feltrop, Zach and I we're entering year 7 working together. He's our defensive coordinator and linebacker coach, and just a really great football mind and somebody who I think that people are going to get excited to watch him work and watch what we're going to do from an aggressive standpoint defensively and really get after the quarterback and make things uncomfortable is kind of the brand that we want to play. Offensively, you start with Reed Florence, who this is my 4th year working with Reed. I recruited Reed or helped recruit him to Wittenberg when he was a player. Got the chance to be on staff when he was there as a student athlete and for 3 of his 4 seasons. And my relationship with Reed and his family goes, back, almost, to the time where he was just a little kid. We're from the same area, and so I've known Reed for almost his entire life, which is pretty special in this business, and the connection that we have, I think, is special. Terry Geiger, also in my 4th year of working with him, and just think he's a terrific person first and foremost. He's a great recruiter. He's taken our receivers and our recruiting coordinator role, and so I think that you're going to see great things from him in both of those. And then Pete Nank, this is our 3rd season working together. Pete is a Division I football player himself, played at Miami of Ohio, then GA'd there, spent just a little bit of time at Benedictine, then joined me at Marietta for a couple of years, and then joined the staff here at Valpo. Does an awesome job with the O-line. Really think that he's got a tremendously bright future in this business, and we're lucky to have a guy like him mentoring our offensive linemen.
You mentioned Coach Campbell earlier. Let's talk about the off-season and from a strength and conditioning standpoint. How did things go in the weight room for your team this winter?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot to be excited about. We certainly have seen some guys improve their numbers and improve their overall core strength. And Well, numbers are one thing. I think functional strength is what's really important, and Coach Campbell does a great job of understanding that, pushing that. The functional strength, and that's more important than maybe bench pressing 400 or 500 pounds. But how functional are we? And you see that built into his overall weight room structure. The guys have been really energetic, and I think that there are a lot of things that were being done right before I took the job here, and some things we're going to want to do differently. But certainly, the weight room side of things is something that I think is being done right, and so really looking forward to seeing these guys out in spring.
Speaking of spring, let's look ahead to it. What should we expect from your first spring as the head football coach, and what do you hope to learn over the course of the spring season about your team?
Yeah, well, I think we want to learn who the guys are. We want to get a chance to really spend time with those guys and develop those relationships, on a level that goes beyond just the functional football side of things. But we want to build those relationships and get those closer. I think that spring is an opportunity to see guys push and sweat and sacrifice, but also learn and have a lot of fun too. And so those are all going to be components that we're going to want to be a part of our practice. And I'm excited to get a chance to watch these guys go and compete and see what each guy can do when they get their opportunities. So a lot to look forward to. We want to have a lot of energy at all of our practices, and I think the guys will be able to bring that.
There he is, the head coach of the Valpo football program, Andy Waddle. We'll talk to you again next time on Valpo Football Weekly, presented by Lakeshore Bone and Joint Institute.